Welcome back to the homestead. Today is we service this. So, this thing is 14 years old. Actually, it's going on 15. Craftsman. It's got a 22 horsepower, 42-inch deck I've been spending the week rebuilding. So the first thing we got to do is get the hood off. So what we got to do, we got to open it first. There's a headlight in here. You just unplug. Tilt it back a little bit, grab a hold, and it comes right off. I'll set it down over here. So I turn the wheel to the right, or sorry, to the left. And there's a little thing down here. I got it. Let me see if I can't get you down there. There's a little plug down here. You just take this cap off. You turn it to the, let's see. You turn it one way and you pull, and it drains the oil out. I already run this thing a little bit. Pull the dipstick out a little bit. So the oil looks fairly good because I think I changed it about maybe 2 years ago. I use a full synthetic, so you don't have to change the oil every year. But it's going to be a little slow going coming out, so we'll come back when it's drained. Okay, so while the oil is draining, we got to check the air filter. I already unscrewed all this, and I'm going to be taking the spark plugs out. I'm going to be selling the thing next year. Actually, it looks pretty good. If not, you can always take air and blow these things out. Now, you get a little residue in here. Let me get my little air chuck. And we'll blow out the air hose. We'll blow this whole cavity out. Okay, that's good. Put this thing back together. Depending on your area and how your yard is, determines how often you should check this. Down. For the life of me, as long as I've had this engine, this tractor, when I change the oil, I've never had to add. So I can't figure out how some people says, well, my engine only lasted 5 years. Okay, well, the only problems I ever have with this thing is the tires going flat. Okay, so the air filter's good. I'm going to take the spark plugs out here. Now, as far as spark plugs, these spark plugs are about 13 years old. I wanted to get better fuel mileage, more power, and more starting power. To some, you sit there and crank and crank and crank. I put 83 spark plugs in. See what they look like. Actually, not too bad. I don't know if you can see it. Not too bad. Now I have a spark plug cleaner, so I'm going to get these things cleaned up and I'll be right back. Okay, so we got the spark plugs cleaned. Nice and clean. So now we're going to put it back in. I already got the other side in. Oil's all drained. I went ahead and closed that petcock up on the other side. And let's see here. Always start your spark plugs by hand. Because if you cross thread it, not a good deal. After we get this thing back on, then we're going to take the oil filter off and let that drain. Put wire back on. Quick snap. Now the oil filter is over here. It's right down here. See if we can't get you down there. There we go. Now let's see how hard this one is to come off. Yep, gonna need the socket. I'll be right back. Okay, if you were at the last video when I was changing the oil on my truck, believe it or not, it takes the same filter. So we just line it up. I got my little hammer. Put it on there. And there we go. Easy peasy. It's funny, even though the oil filter's the same diameter, and we're going to let that drain a little bit. We'll come back. I'll show you putting the new filter on. Okay. Now I know it says put clean oil. We're just going to just put some used oil around here just to help seal. What I like to do is wipe everything down in here. Around where the filter goes. And screw the new one on. Okay, now we'll get up top. Okay, always clean your funnel out. You never know what could be crawling in there. I don't see nothing in there. All right, I'm going to put. Yeah. This engine takes 64 quarts. I mean 64 ounces. Sorry, that's 2 quarts of oil. So you got the funnel set up. I got, since this thing has, I don't know how many hours it has, but what I got here is Valvoline, high mileage, 10W30. Funny as it may seem, this oil, now this is also a synthetic blend. And this oil is cheaper than lawnmower oil and it's even better than lawnmower oil. And we just add the oil. Now the used oil, what I like to do, I use the same funnel and I put the used oil back in these containers. That way I can keep the oil mess down to a bare minimum. There's one. And here goes number 2. And that's all it is, to changing the oil and servicing the thing. Now before we start this thing up, we got some Zerk fittings I need to grease. Front axle. And the one thing I'll probably do off video is put air in the tires because they keep going flat. So we're going to let that drain down. And let's see. Okay, got my grease gun. I don't have the battery operator. I got the air. Now let's see. Turn this thing a little bit. Keep everything greased. Good. I'll get the other side. And that's it. Wipe everything down. So it doesn't attract dirt. Funnel should be good to go. Wipe any mess down, keep it clean. Put the dipstick in. All right. So I got everything cleaned up, filter on, oil in, spark plugs cleaned. Make sure the air filter's clean. Front axle greased. So, what I like to do is start it up and check for leaks. That's all there is to it. Runs perfect like it's always has. So I'm going to finish this thing up off camera because, you know, I just want to show you how you service this. Taking the hood off's easy. Look at your book and it will show you how to do it. And always check your battery, you know, terminals and all that. I've replaced a lot of things. This is the last year I'm doing this. Selling this and a bunch of other stuff because I got my finish mower to the side over here. So if you like this type of content, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And I'll see you in the next video. Be something fun.